The Girl Who Spoke Her Way to Freedom. The Story of Oprah Winfrey. It was 1954, in a tiny wooden shack with no running water or electricity, deep in the rural hills of Mississippi. A little girl named Oprah Gail Winfrey sat on the porch steps, wearing a dress stitched together from old potato sacks. The other children in the village would point and laugh, teasing her for her ragged clothes, her big eyes, and the way she talked so loud and so sure even when she was barely tall enough to reach the table. But Oprah didn't care. She would climb up on an old crate and preach sermons to the chickens pecking in the dirt, recite Bible verses to the oak trees, and tell stories to anyone who would listen, even if the only audience was her grandmother, Hattie Mae, who worked from dawn till dusk just to put cornbread and molasses on the table. "You're gonna do something big with that voice of yours, baby," Hattie would say, wiping her calloused hands on her apron. "Mark my words." No one else believed it. Back then, the world had already decided what a girl like Oprah was supposed to be. Poor, black, born on the wrong side of town, to a teenage mother who couldn't take care of her. The statistics said she would end up uneducated, a young mother living paycheck to paycheck, just getting by like everyone else around her. When Oprah was 6 years old, she was sent to live with her mother in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was a world away from the quiet hills. They lived in a dangerous, run-down neighborhood, and her mother worked long hours cleaning houses, leaving Oprah alone most of the time. What happened next was the kind of pain that breaks most people. For years, Oprah was abused by male relatives, hurt and scared and too ashamed to tell anyone. By the time she was 14, she was rebellious, skipping school, running away, and felt like her life was already over. She got pregnant, and when her baby boy was born prematurely, he lived only a few days. Oprah sat by the tiny hospital bed and cried. She thought, "This is it. This is all I'm ever gonna get. I'm worthless. I'm never gonna be anything." Her mother had had enough. "Send her to her father," she told the social worker. "I can't handle her no more." Vernon Winfrey was a strict, hard-working barber and church deacon in Nashville, Tennessee. He didn't believe in excuses. He didn't believe in pity. When Oprah walked through his door, he looked at her and said, "You got talent. You got brains, and from now on you're gonna use them. No more messing around." He made rules that changed her life. Every week, Oprah had to read 2 books and write a report on them. She had to keep her room spotless. She had to get good grades, no exceptions. "You are responsible for your own life," he told her. "Nobody owes you anything. What you get, you earn." For the first time, Oprah felt safe. She felt like someone believed in her. She threw herself into school, joined the speech team, won public speaking contests, and at 17, she won a full scholarship to Tennessee State University. One day, a local radio station heard her speak. They offered her a job reading the news, $100 a week. She was 19 years old, and she was the first black woman ever to read the news in Nashville. People stared. They said, "A girl like you on TV? You're too big, too loud, too emotional. You don't fit." Oprah didn't stop. She moved to Baltimore to co-anchor the news, but soon realized she didn't want to just read stories. She wanted to connect with people. She wanted to talk about real things: pain, hope, love, problems that people were too scared to say out loud. They gave her a small morning talk show. Within a year, it was the #1 show in the city. Then came the offer that would change everything. A small, struggling talk show in Chicago, last in the ratings, needed a host. Everyone warned her, "It's too hard. You'll fail. You're not right for this market." In January 1984, Oprah sat down behind that desk for the first time. She didn't act like a perfect TV host. She cried when her guests cried. She laughed aloud. She asked the questions everyone else was too polite to ask. She treated people like they were family, not just characters on a screen. In less than a year, the Oprah Winfrey Show went from last place to #1. It was seen by millions of people all over the world. But the challenges didn't end there. When she wanted to start her own production company, to own her show instead of working for other people, the men in Hollywood laughed at her. "Black women don't run companies," they said. "You don't have the money, the power, the connections. You'll lose everything." Oprah didn't listen. She started Harpo Productions, her own company, named after her own name spelled backwards. She became the first black woman to own her own media company. She turned her show into a platform that didn't just entertain but lifted people up. She started a book club that turned unknown authors into bestsellers. She talked about abuse, addiction, poverty, and mental health long before it was acceptable to do so. She became the first black female billionaire in history. But money was never the point. The point was freedom. The freedom to be herself. The freedom to help other people who felt as small and scared as she once did. In 2007, she opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, a school for girls from poor villages, just like she once was. When she walked through the doors, she saw little girls in uniforms, full of hope, and she cried. "I am you," she told them. "I know what it feels like to be told you can't. I know what it feels like to have nothing, but you don't have to stay there. I was told I wasn't supposed to make it. I was supposed to be a statistic. But I learned that your past doesn't equal your future. You become what you believe. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Turn your pain into your purpose." She also said, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. No matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, no matter how much money you have at the start, if you are willing to work, if you are willing to keep going when it hurts, if you are willing to believe in yourself even when no one else does, you can do anything." The little girl who wore dresses made of potato sacks, who was abused, who lost her baby, who thought her life was over, became one of the most influential women in the whole world. She didn't just build an empire. She built a legacy of hope. And if she could rise from that tiny shack in Mississippi to change the world, so can you.